everyone, it's Hunter and welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, it is so nice to meet you. In today's video, I'm going to be showing you guys the process of making my vision board for 2021. So it is going to be my background for my MacBook. So if you guys want to see me set up my MacBook, personalize my MacBook, customize it and all that, that will be the next video that I upload, but this one is just creating the vision board so you guys can see me create it. I made it on my iPad and I screen recorded it, but I wanted to show it to you guys and I wanted to, instead of voicing over it, I'm gonna film me talking about it while I'm watching it and kind of tell you about my thought process while I was making it. So that's kind of what's happening in this video. If you want to see me set up my iPhone for the new year, that was the last video that I uploaded, so I will link that down below for you guys and I'll put it up in the cards up here. So that's all I have for this intro. Before we get started, be sure to subscribe to my channel if you have not already. Be sure to give this video a thumbs up if you enjoy videos like this, and follow me on Instagram if you haven't already, because I would love to have you over there. And let's go ahead and get started. So first I opened up Procreate and I made a new canvas the size of my MacBook screen. So here are the dimensions if you wanted it. Once I had my canvas pulled up, I zoomed out a little bit because I like to be able to see the whole thing and not just like up against the edge of the screen. And then I took a color from a color palette that I made and decided to have this bar over here on the side. Since this is going to be the background for my MacBook, I wanted to make sure that there was space for me to put folders and files and stuff without it obscuring the view of my vision board. So that is why I made this little thing on the side. I've seen a bunch of backgrounds as these cutie vision boards, but I still wanted to be able to see my folders and not feel like they were overwhelmed with stuff, like things that I actually need on my desktop. So that's what happened here. And then I went to Pinterest and decided that I did not like anything on here. I was not feeling the vibe of anything that I was searching. So I kind of just gave up, but here's my attempt at looking at stuff. Finally, I decided to head over to Instagram because I knew there were a couple of stories that I had seen in the past that I really liked. So that's me just searching for the Instagram accounts that I knew they were on. And just screenshotting them. Once I found the ones that I liked, I headed back over to Procreate and imported the photos into here. And what I should have done was go to my camera roll and cropped these photos into just the size that I wanted them to be. But I was not thinking about that, and instead I just erased the edges of it since it was already there. So that's exactly what's happening here. I'm just erasing around the edges so that it's the size and shape that I want it to be. And I did it to this one too. Something that's really awesome about this one though is that it was already on Instagram, so the image itself was already in a square, so I was able to just draw a rectangle with the eraser tool, or square with the eraser tool on Procreate, and it was a lot easier to do this one because it had lines already on it. I decided to head back to Pinterest, and even though this is totally out of the realm of goals that I have for myself, I just thought it would be really nice to see this. People always celebrate their big wins with balloons, so I decided to post a picture of those balloons to say 100K, and I actually cropped this one this time. As you can see, I cropped it, so that was a lot easier. And then I found an image that I made that says, "Don't stop until you're proud." And this is one that I made in Procreate and posted on my Instagram for my Etsy shop. So if you like this, you can go to that Instagram page and it'll be there. Then I went back to Pinterest and I finally knew what I wanted to search for: motivational quotes aesthetic, because it was that hard for me to figure out what I wanted to type. So I just scrolled through and I found some quotes that I liked. So I went through really quickly and saved some that I felt motivated by. And that's what's happening here. I'm just looking for them, saving them onto my camera roll. And now here I am placing them into the vision board, and I just kind of rearranged until I found a layout of these that I liked. I just played around with it. So if you're making your own vision board, just play around with it. Sometimes it takes moving it a couple of tries or a couple of times to figure out exactly what you want it to look like. And sometimes when you put a photo in, you may not like where it is or what it looks like. So you may end up scratching it all together, and that's totally fine. There were some that I didn't use that I saved from Pinterest. So just pull what you can and then kind of just move things around, play around with it until you find it visually pleasing. And that's exactly what I did. I pulled some pictures that I had from my own camera roll as well, graphics and designs that I had made myself. And even though I'm making this in Procreate, you can do this in Canva or Photoshop or whatever it is that you have. I just happen to have my iPad and I enjoy doing things on Procreate, so that's why I was using that. But there are options for other places. You can do it on your computer. This last part, I decided I wanted to put a quote with just this empty space because I could fill it and like make it how I wanted to. So I wanted the quote, "You got this," but I didn't like my handwriting on any of these because it was so small and it wasn't turning out how I wanted it to. So I eventually just turned to the text tool and just did that with the font that I had on my computer and just arranged it how I liked it. And that is the final product. So I'm just gonna go ahead and save it onto, I actually saved it to files instead of to my camera roll so that I can access it on my laptop. But now I kind of want to tell you guys about the vision board. So what we have here, the first, oh, I didn't mean to hit the computer. So the first thing I have is a quote that says, "You do not just wake up and become the butterfly. Growth is a process." And that has like nice watercolors behind it. I liked it for the colors, but I like that quote because I a lot of times compare myself to other people, and I have to remind myself that not everybody grows at the same pace, and that one day if it's meant for me to have 100,000 subscribers, then I'll get there. But that growth is not something that happens the same for everyone, and there is no special formula or recipe for blowing up on YouTube. So it's just a reminder that growth is a process and that you don't just like wake up one day and have like this huge audience and are perfect. So that's what that's for. And then there's 100K, because even though growth is a process, that is like the ultimate goal one day, is to be able to do YouTube and content creation full time, even if it's not 100,000 subscribers. I know there are people who can do YouTube as their job without 100,000 subscribers, so that's kind of what the goal is there. The quote beside that is, "May the rejection never stop you from dreaming of what could be." So I am definitely a dreamer, I would say. So I have lots of goals, I have lots of dreams, and I really want to accomplish a lot of things. And so this quote just reminded me that sometimes we're gonna get rejected. Like I said, watching other people grow rapidly on YouTube can be really discouraging when you've been on YouTube for a really long time. But sometimes I just feel like it's not necessarily rejection, but also I've been rejected from a ton of jobs because they say I don't have enough experience, and that's kind of crap because how can I get experience if no one will hire me? But I just need to remind myself that just because I don't have experience on paper doesn't mean that I can't create awesome things, and that doesn't mean that I can't dream of what my life and my future could look like. Then under there, it is "Don't stop until you're proud." So it's basically just saying like, be proud of yourself and work really hard to make yourself proud. Beside that is a picture of some flowers that say Bloom, and Made by Mary is one of my favorite brands, and they started as a small business out of someone's garage, I think. So just watching their business blow up to what it is today is awesome. Like all of my jewelry, like my rings are from there, my necklaces are from there, my earrings are from there. So much of my jewelry is from there, and I just really love their brand. And then these are hand-drawn flowers. Bloom is really important, but just because it's growth, you know, kind of like the other things on here. Next is I am creating the life of my dreams, and I am creating, that's what I'm doing. And by creating, I am creating the life of my dreams, if that makes sense. So even if I'm not blowing up on YouTube, creating is my dream, and I love doing it and making videos and stuff like that and making graphics and just whatever the case may be, I enjoy creating. So creating the life of my dreams. Under there is a little quote that I actually made this, and it says, "Fearfully and wonderfully made," and it's from Psalm 139:14, and it is from the verse that says, I will praise you because I'm fearfully and wonderfully made. That I know full well. And that is a verse that is my favorite in the whole Bible. And it talks about just that whole, the chapter in there in Psalm is talking about how we were made in our mother's womb, and we were created by the God of the universe before he knew us, or not before he knew us, before our mothers knew us, before the formation of the world, we were created and thought of. And to know that the creator of the universe and the creator of the most beautiful things in the world, like sunsets and the ocean and so many different things, also created me, and I am so much more special to him than all of those things. And so I want to have that reminder for myself. So that's what that's for. And then don't quit your daydream on here. That is because this is my daydream, and this is not something I dream about at night. This is something I dream about during the day, just about myself. And my daydream is just creating, and it sounds so cheesy to call it my daydream, but it really is something that I'm not just dreaming about at night, I'm dreaming about it during the daytime, and it's something that I want to pursue and do full time and just create. That's kind of what's going on there. These rainbows are just pretty. They went with the color scheme. There's no really rhyme or reason for this. I just think it's pretty. And then beside that, it says, "You got this." And it's just to remind myself to keep going, because you got this, Hunter. No need to give up. So that is kind of the explanation for everything on the vision board. And if you guys make a vision board, please tag me in it wherever you post it. But if you guys want to see me use this vision board to make my MacBook look pretty, then be sure to subscribe to my channel so you guys can check out my next video. But I have to go now, so I will see you guys in my next video.